My name is Jörg Thelenberg. I'm from Germany, from a relatively small place, Hassfurt, which is like halfway between Munich and Frankfurt. And I'm basically representing my school here. But I happen to end up to having a rather student-centered approach in the terms of keeping IT running and even introducing lots of IT elements, but also projectors and everything. And that was pure necessity, because in the beginning I was given a job of get this school on track IT-wise, and I was alone, and they told me I had I got 2 lessons off per week to do it, which is crazy. It's a 1,000 pupil school, 120 teachers, and I realized there were students in my year 12 courses who were working as operators or so in big companies nearby, and so they knew much more than I. And I just asked them, would you help me? Actually, we got money, there was funding suddenly, and I didn't even know what to buy. And they kind of said, yeah, if we really want to get anywhere, we need to do this and that. And this is how it started. And then there was the concept called a pupil-student company, they would call them. And they can actually earn money and are run like a company. We do it like a limited one with a limited amount of capital. And actually, each student buys, it's 20 euros, but still, buys into this company and is then a stakeholder theoretically. So this is transformation in this field because the students are so engaged in this. Well, at first it saved my life as an administrator. There was no good IT company in the village. It's 12,000 people. There's one IT company that was one guy. Whenever he wasn't available or gone or said, I don't know about this, that was it. And so I needed to rely on students and their experience. And the other thing was something that I only realized later, it really turned out to be a chance for students that are, you would say, academically weak, like classically sitting in a classroom doing paperwork, that could never shine there. And suddenly teachers said, this teacher really likes me. I said, what do you mean? I kind of saved his lesson by connecting his laptop to the projector. Now he's really friendly to me, although I'm really bad at math. He never was friendly to me because I'm crap at math. And suddenly he knew my name, and the principal know my name and says, yeah, this is a nice guy. And otherwise I was nobody. I was just a guy doing stupid things and not being good at math. So that turned out to be really, and in Gymnasium, the grammar school in Germany, there's not much vocational preparation. It's more now than it used to be. And actually, I can proudly say that many of my students kind of got their first job interviews and passed initial test or assessment centers quite well, because they said, well, this is the kind of thing I've been doing for 3 years anyway. So that was cool. I didn't realize this. Many of these effects I only realized later. So they hadn't planned on that, to be fair. I come from scouting. I was in the Scouts, and so I come from rather informal learning settings, and school I always feel limits you a lot. I mean, yes, that's what school is. It's a very clear organizational framework. You have a ministry and all that. And my experiences from that I think if I look back, they taught me to trust people with stuff, because it was the same thing. You had to. We didn't have many full-time employed youth workers or so in the Scouts. Everybody was like an expert in something and had to just do things and try out, with all the problems that this brings, but also with these astonishing success you can have. And I think that and the other thing I must say, I was quite glad, because the late 90s was when the Bavarian state actually started putting money into this, to be really fair. You can't do this without money. And to be fair, at the time we had a headmaster. It was very unconventional. He also came from youth work, and you could see they said, yeah, give it a try. He allowed us to kind of trust students with administrative tasks. They have local admin passwords. And I was like, how can you do this? They will destroy the system. They will do lots of stupid things. They will steal and sell the stuff, whatever. And it has never happened, never. And I think the students kind of defend, it's their system. If you stay at school every Friday until 7 o'clock and repair stuff and install stuff, you're not going to break it. You're going to defend it to the last against teachers and other students. So they're much better than anything I've ever could have hoped for in terms of defending the system. Yeah, as I said, we somehow came to the fun situation that we had more money than knowledge, and we realized suddenly there's money to be spent, and we could see so many schools that spend their money, I'm not saying stupidly would be unfair, but from our point of view, don't do this. Everybody tells you you need these huge whiteboards. Everybody needs a whiteboard. But then I said, yeah, but you have other problems. You don't have a working Wi-Fi. I mean, as nice as a whiteboard is, if you want to involve students, you would rather need a working Wi-Fi than a cool whiteboard in every room, which is, again, a teacher presenting something. It's not something to involve other, like students mainly, because it's, again, be one person talking, but now with a whiteboard. So that's nothing new, really. So that was one of the challenges. We had to kind of rethink this. And now we've gone to a new phase where there was even more money. And we also felt that we had to defend against this by loads and loads of hardware, because that's where the money usually goes. And as usually, there was not much money put into maintenance or training of teachers. Same thing, you buy lots of hardware and then it's there, nobody uses it or knows how to use it or dares to use it. I think the element of trusting students would be a very basic idea. And also, I think it's relational work. This is like, I always say it's a combination between a company and an open youth meeting. It's like, and you can see this when they come on Friday. There's 1 hour when they decide what to eat and who gets the food, and then they just talk about the week and how stupid teachers are and all that. But it's also in this hour that they kind of organize what they're going to do on this Friday, what is going to be repaired, what's the most important stuff, and they learn so much. And I think that is a simple part. It's something that can easily be used. Trusting them, helping them to how to organize this kind of work, their abilities. And it's also really cool to see that you have like the typical nerds who never have any real friends, and they can shine there, obviously. And it was a big step for them to have girls involved, because in the beginning it was all boys only, and then there were 2 girls who were really like the icebreakers for this. And they were brilliant because they were like the right kind of people, very confident, saying, yeah, well, why shouldn't I? And that really changed a lot. And it's so cool to see how much that does for the boys also, not only for the girls. But so I think it's not that difficult. I mean, the idea is let those who actually are quite good or are interested and they are willing, you know that with young people, if they like an idea, if they're motivated, they would invest hours, which we could not do or are not willing to do. Basically, it's simple, yes, to accept that you can use their energy and their expertise and this feeling of that they are responsible. They know if they don't fix it, it doesn't work on Monday. These skills, like the soft skill of talking to teachers, they had to learn that without insulting them. They said, if you tell them in front of the class he's stupid, he will hate you. And he's right to do so. This is not what you should do. So they learn so many things. And yes, I think it can easily be applied. It just needs 1 or 2 people who are willing to try it. And you usually find students, I think.